chosen one of the 10 outstanding young men in America. It was a real honor for me. I was very moved.
So every dream that I ever dreamed has come true 100 times. I learned very early in life that without a song, the day would never end. Without a song, a man ain't got a friend. Without a song, the road would never bend. Without a song. So I'll keep singing a song.
The legendary Elvis Presley from the new documentary This Is Elvis, one of 4 new movies we'll be reviewing this week on Sneak Previews. And across the aisle from me is Gene Siskel, film critic of the Chicago Tribune. Posthumous Elvis Presley industry, but it's a lot more than that, and it's a lot better, too. This Is Elvis is a fascinating, sometimes shocking, and finally a very depressing documentary about a kid who became a superstar and a drug victim. The filmmakers had total access to the Presley archives, including old television tapes, newsreel footage, and personal home movies that Elvis had made by professional photographers. Most of the film is actual documentary footage of Presley himself. However, a double for Presley is used to recreate a few scenes from his life and to be the voice of Elvis, supposedly narrating the film as he tells his own story. Here he talks about the breakup of his first marriage.
First of all, I plead innocent of all charges.
Is your wife Priscilla with you?
No, she's not.
Priscilla and I were hardly ever together, and even when we were, things weren't the same. One day while I was playing Vegas, Priscilla came to tell me she wanted a divorce. At first I was angry and hurt. It took a long time for me to accept it, but losing her really got to me. After all the years together, we just couldn't make things work out.
Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm so sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind.
A lot of the stuff in this movie has never been seen before, including those scenes of Priscilla and Elvis Presley. Those were found in a closet in Graceland, Elvis's mansion, after he died. So it's interesting. A lot of that stuff is really interesting. One of the horrifying things about this film is the way the young, cheerful, charismatic Elvis Presley gets hooked on drugs and gradually turns into an obviously very sick man who's forcing himself to keep on going through the motions. Now, here are scenes from 3 different parts of the movie showing his development as a star and his gradual personal disintegration. First is Elvis's famous appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1957.
Here is Elvis.
What would like to say is that to all the people watching, and all you people that are here tonight, that we really are thankful for all the success that you made us have and everything. This is my biggest record, and it goes something like this.
You know I can be found sitting home all alone. If you can come around, at least please telephone.
In 1960, when Elvis returned to the States after 2 years of Army duty, Frank Sinatra welcomed him back on a TV special.
We work in the same way, only in different areas. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let
film's end in 1977, an obviously very sick Elvis Presley tries to pull himself together. His bodyguard, Joe Esposito, describes Presley's condition.
I whispered to Elvis to be careful stepping out to the stage. He was obviously way overweight, and despite his age, only 42, we knew he was in bad health. Through all the years I knew him, Elvis had taken great care to always look his best in public. It was tough for him, but now Elvis accepted his appearance, and so did his fans.
For anyone who remembers the young Elvis Presley, those final scenes are really heartbreaking. This Is Elvis is a very entertaining movie. A lot of it is a lot of fun. It's a chapter of American popular music history, but it's also the story of a man who was destroyed by drugs, even though and maybe because he was surrounded by money and friends and fame. As his bodyguard, Joe Esposito, says, how can you help a man who doesn't want to help himself? The film ends at one of Presley's final concerts before he died, with Elvis forgetting the words to My Way and barely making it through Are You Lonesome Tonight. He could still sing all right up to the end. He never lost his voice, but finally he lost his life.
I think it's an excellent film, too, and I think it makes very clear the point of why Elvis Presley died at such a young age. I think that the film makes the same point as another film about a rock music group called The Band. Martin Scorsese's The Last Waltz was the film, and they said there, the road will kill you. And I think this film makes that very clear. Presley, we're told, did something like 2,000 shows in the last 7 years of his life. That's going to kill you. That's a brutal existence. The other thing I like about the film is that it gives us a great feeling for what made Presley a star. His magnificent voice, which I think was underrated in his career, his brilliant manager. I wish the film would have had an interview with him. I thought that was a big gap in it. The only thing that really bugged me was that I thought the film played a little fast and loose with its material. It's sort of a semi-docudrama with a narrator reading supposedly Elvis's words, with 3 actors playing different parts of Elvis's life in a few scenes. I would have liked to have been told that up front, so I would have thought the film would have been a little more straight about what it was doing.
Well, that didn't really bother me. I mean, right away when you see a little kid, you know that's not Elvis Presley,
Right.
So I think the film is announcing that part of it is fictional that way. That didn't bother me. One thing that I really liked about the film is the fact that even though I did not go in as a real Elvis Presley fanatic, and I think a lot of people probably say, well, I don't want to see this film because I didn't like Elvis, I wasn't an Elvis fan. This film, I think, works as a documentary or a semi-documentary, whatever you want to call it, and as a piece of entertainment. So I think we can recommend it even to people who are not really fascinated by Elvis Presley.
Yeah, I think that they will be fascinated. I think they'll think they missed something. The